Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Civ Show podcast, where we suck so you don't have to. I'm your host, MoySauce,
Razing Zozo.
And Nystagmus.
and it look at this new layout. If for people who are listening to us on Twitch, look at this new and improved, super clean. No more purple, baby, just black and white. Oh yeah, you like it? You looking at it, Nystagmus? I see you looking at something.
Very, very, very nice, Moy. It's very nice.
Oh, thanks. So we got some things to talk about. Let's start with Sunday with Van Bradley, the continuation, part 2 of the Vietnam in Kublai Khan.
I kind of feel outnumbered here, man. Got to. Oh no, I'm joking. Moy's the one who's outnumbered.
What do you mean? I'm like, what are you talking about? Van Bradley's the one that's not here. It's my teammate that's not here. What were you guys doing? I need to know what your strategy was. Did you guys have a strategy at all going into the game?
The strategy is not to have a strategy, to be unpredictable.
Yeah, we had a strategy. I had two huge, massive, critical, one-turn military errors that cost me dearly. But our strategy was to put you off by attacking you from the side there.
Mm-hmm.
And while we did other things. Now it succeeded in the end, but a big part of that end would have come a lot sooner if I had not been a dolt. A dolt? How about a dope?
A dope. I like a dope.
A dope. And I had just not realized, because I went from my I keep calling them quagmires. I went from my quagmire, my trireme or quireme or whatever it's called.
The quadreme.
My
the quadreme.
shooty boat.
Yeah.
My shooty boat, my ancient shooty boat.
Got it.
To frigates. And I didn't realize that I had already had the technology for battleships. I just went out of order, right?
What?
I got it really. So I upgraded to frigates, right? And or it was like the next turn I got it. I didn't realize it until several turns into it. I was like, oh my god, I can build battleships. So I had frigates firing at you, and there were fleets, and you were scared of fleets of frigates, but you would have been even scarier of fleets of battleships.
Yes.
And I think I lost a couple frigate fleets, or they got critically wounded, and it slowed things down. But then when I realized the mistake that I had made, I was like, oh, I have fleets of battleships. And then those cities fell very quickly, or that one city fell very, very quickly. So I feel like if I had been thinking, if I'd been using big brain, that I would have planned, just go to battleships and then attack.
So there was one moment I want to remind, there was one moment as your ally, Zo, that I was scared that you're going to start playing on tilt. Was when Moy apparently had some field cannon that shot at your battleship, and it almost killed the battleship.
Oh my god.
And you were just like, what? Why did it do so much damage? I don't get it. This is stupid.
And I had to give him all the math. Yeah.
I don't think it was a battleship. I think it was a fleet of frigates that you shot at that it almost killed. I don't think it was a battleship.
I could have sworn it was a battleship.
It was an army of. I killed an army of field cannon in one turn.
I remember that, and that was a bad misclick.
And also you were also mad that your first battleship volley didn't do as much damage as you thought it should have. And I just know that you were just like, okay, what the hell? I just upgrade to and then you realized that it was gonna overwhelm him anyway. But there was that moment I was like, oh, he's gonna go on tilt and just kamikaze into a city or something. And
I do recall a moment where it was I'm just abandoning this whole tactic. Because it's
I remember that.
This map is it's a hard map. There's this insane bottleneck on both ends in the middle. But then 3 turns later, it was total reversal of favor. I have battleships. That's why I'm pretty sure he destroyed a fleet of frigates. That upset me. I was fleet of frigates. Because once I brought the battleships in, it was 2 turns, I think, 2 or 3 turns tops, and that city was destroyed.
Yeah, it didn't last long. No.
And it was the turn that you captured our city state that I blitzed. I had it all in my head. I was like, okay, I can embark and attack in one turn. So as long as he doesn't put a military unit right here in that one little landing spot that I had, I'm gonna raise his city.
I
And
don't know
like this
why I
was
would put a
after
unit there though.
this was well, it would
I would
prevent
have
me
died to
from
your battleships though. He would have died.
yes, of
Yeah.
course, I know. It would but then my battleships were not shooting at your land, and it would have been a total. You want us to do what, sir? Just stand there. Don't worry. Don't worry. What are these ships? Oh, they can't hit you. Look, they're out at sea.
What are
They're
those
way out at
mortar
sea.
shells? What's coming at me? Don't worry, just stand right there.
But like when I finally overtook you, like that was after defeat after defeat after defeat, and it's like if you've ever had like a running lose streak in poker, and then you finally get that big win. You know that feeling. That's what it felt like. I was like, ah, finally, boy's not invincible. His game genie turned off for one turn, and I was able to slip in, and I was like, you know what? I actually probably should have kept the city in hindsight.
Could you
But I was like,
have?
no, I think so, just because you didn't really have a lot of response, and like it was in this inconvenient space. But I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not dealing with rebellion. I'm not dealing with the fact that maybe you have a secret force that I didn't see. So I just raised it to the ground.
Mhm.
Done. And now, like in that northern sea, I can harass you. But of course, you don't have a lot of stuff up there.
No.
But it would be a foothold, right? It would be now you have to worry about, Nystagmus in one area, me in another. It doesn't help you guys have bombers. I don't know how many you have. I know you
I
have
don't
at
even
least
know how
one.
many we have, to be honest with you. It's not mine. They're not
Um,
mine.
yeah, and like
It helps us. It helps us though that Moy's in the wrong. Like that's why Van Bradley was complaining that he's like. I was wondering why he was very upset that he couldn't use like his allies' districts and stuff very
To-
specifically,
yeah.
right? And I was
yeah, and
like,
that's why
oh, yeah, because Moy
you
is
can
in
land your
between.
bomber though, can't you? In an
No.
ally.
So he
No,
he
you
can put
can't.
airstrips. He can put airstrips in neutral territory. He can't put them in my territory.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
kind of silly.
So yeah,
That makes
so
sense.
Moy
I think
is in
I'll talk
between
about
me
my
and him,
yeah.
and the encampment that he attacked is apparently the farthest you can possibly attack.
Oh,
Um,
For
and
now.
so for now,
For now.
for now, for now.
but I
Well,
may just decide to put up some air defenses then and see what happens
and
to his bombers then.
There you go.
five.
Yeah.
He's 5 sciences ahead of me, um, because like he's your tech. I like obviously I'm out teching Moy, but
Yeah.
like Kubla Khan is not tech. You two are not tech. You're right now super production. But I think is Nystagmus out culturing you?
I
Yeah.
am.
I have
Yeah.
weak culture. I have very weak culture. Yeah.
Yeah, but your production is insane. You have, I
Yes.
think you said your one city has a production of 100.
150, my guy.
150.
All
150.
we gotta do is hunt
Like
down those
what?
stupid
Well,
OP Myers.
yeah, and I'm on my
I'm
way
gonna
to
call them OP
bombers.
Myers. They're OP Myers.
I'm on
OP
my way to
Myers.
bombers, so like I'll have to like see if I can bomb those. That'll be great. If I can bomb his vampire castles, he just has to send his vampire to repair them. But yeah, it's problematic. His production is
It is.
problematic.
It is. It is. Yeah. But that only
That's
goes to my
why
capital city. I still have 50 production in all of my cities. Like I'm still doing very well throughout my
my
empire.
I have like 3 cities that have a 60 production, but I have a lot of cities,
Yeah,
right?
you have
I
a lot.
think I have more cities than anyone else right now. On
Van Bradley
Van Bradley has a
probably
lot.
yeah.
He's got a bit. Yeah. I don't know. I think you're
Me and
very
Moy got
close.
stuck between you guys. And I
Yes.
I
just
have
gave Zoe a wide berth.
yeah,
I was just like, you just take over that continent, man. You
I
just
have
do
like
it.
12
Van
cities
Bradley
right now.
forward settled me, and I'm like, what are you doing? I couldn't believe it. I ran out of room. I have no more room to settle anyway. So, you know,
But yeah,
With allies like that, who needs enemies?
the uh, yeah, I do have a feeling. I don't think the game will go that much longer, and I think the biggest because especially that we've decided okay, we're going to ignore other victory conditions and just go with our other one.
right.
Canada is going to be hard to take. I don't think India, especially if you only have to take the capital. I don't remember if we said you have to take out the whole civ or just the capital.
I kind of want to take out the whole civ. Like I would rather do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That might be harder just because, but yeah, you're like Ottawa, I don't even know where it is. I'm guessing it's landlocked,
Yes, it
whereas
is.
freaking Delhi is like,
Right on the coast.
coastal. India's not doing anything. It's just there.
Canada's not doing
in.
anything either, my guy. Like Canada's just there. Has
Hey,
like 200 military
India is
strength.
doing at least one thing. India is being friends with us. Even though we've been at war the entire game, India is still like, hey guys, you're cool. Like, I thought that was weird. I thought us being at war the whole time, India was going to be mad at us, but apparently Canada's more mad at you guys than us. So,
Oh man, my
Canada likes
amenities,
me.
are like -5 in like all of our
Yes,
cities.
same, bro.
Like now, I
Oh
think
my
I
god.
think I got it to -3 because I'm a fascism now. So, and because I think fascism
It's
gives
less
you a
war
little tick on
weariness. Yeah.
where weariness,
Yeah.
and I also have the civic for where we're war wariness. So
There you go.
I want to say fascism's like -15% or something like that.
Let's take a look. I know the card
you
is
can take
minus
it.
25. Yeah.
And then I have the
oh,
card
wow, I
that's
didn't realize you're doing that bad in amenities, man. If you weren't doing that bad in amenities, Moy, you would have been crushing us right now with like production and stuff.
Oh
oh
no, my
yeah.
amenities are terrible too,
Our
though. Oh.
Yeah, our long-term war, especially like, me and Moy are just killing each other's units. I like that I
Yeah.
killed that level 5 D-bag.
Yeah, that was hard.
Took a lot
That
of
was hard to
energy.
swallow.
A lot of
That was hard.
energy.
You killed him. So you took that city and killed him the same turn that we took the Indian city. So
Yes,
that's
yeah.
our focus was over in India, and then like I have like
That's what it
3/4
was,
health
the
left in the city, so I'm like, oh, it's fine. And then suddenly you're cheering, but then we're cheering, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you cheering?
Like,
Why are
you'll
you-
see. You'll see. It's
Yeah, I
something
go.
missing. It's something missing on the map. What?
Yeah, the
what
Indian
happened?
city's missing on the map.
What
Don't
happened?
tell me more.
Oh,
Oh
it's
shoot,
the
it's
Indian
my city.
That's what's
Oh no.
missing. That's what's missing. It's definitely not your level 5 troop.
And that's
the
why,
city exists.
Moy, I was poking at you guys about the Indian city because I wanted you guys to be distracted while Zoe was like attacking your city.
Hey, we're sticking true to the
distracted
objective, okay? We are taking out India. You still have not taken out a single city of Canada. We've taken out one city of India. We're making progress towards this win condition. I
Well,
might die, but we might still win.
I got tanks now,
Okay.
peace tanks, so and
Oh, yeah.
artillery. So
Oh,
we'll
man.
see.
Yeah,
We'll
we
see
will.
about this.
See if
We'll
I can
see
get to
about this,
steal or something.
I have tanks too, so
Canada. I named like every city but the one that I meant to talk about. We'll see. That like the issue I think will be.
we'll get oil, Chinkle 222. We'll get oil. We'll find
Oh
it.
yeah. The problem with the oil is India has like 3 of the oil.
Can you trade them? Or they don't have it upgraded, probably, right?
They're so far from refinery. They ain't pulling oil out of the ground. There should be a way to like, we'll do it for you. Where like you can go into someone else's territory and it's just like you give them money. That's Civ 7 stuff. Civ 7 economics, where it's just like, yeah, there are gonna be civs, bigger civs, smaller civs, and I can impose my will and say, listen, let me build a refinery. You get all the pollution and I'll give you some money.
That might be a little too real. We might not want to have like real life tactics in here. I don't know about that.
I already told you about the Civ Basilisk theory. Okay, so when Civ Basilisks come out, Moy, if you're not helping build Civ Basilisk, it'll know it, and it'll go back in time. And the moment you die, you'll live in agony for all eternity. Okay, Civ Basilisk. It's I know it's
What?
maddening. You don't remember Civ Basilisk?
No, I don't.
You don't remember this? You don't remember this?
Educate me. So I'm gonna go back in time. What does this mean?
So there is a creepy. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a creepy, I don't know, idea.
Okay.
That's out there that in fact, I guess when this thing got posted on, I don't know if it was 4chan, but something like that. The dude like deleted
this is
it.
already not going the right way.
Yeah, the dude deleted it because it was creeping people out. And basically, it's the basilisk paradox, and how it's basilisk, like the mythical creature that turns things to stone. How it goes is the idea is sometime in the future there will be this all-encompassing intelligence, like a singularity intelligence that's called the Basilisk, and it will be able to look through all of time and space, and it'll have all of this knowledge in its form, and it can travel through time and go through. And this is like sometime in the distant future. And it is a malevolent being that is very petty, and it essentially it is able to scan thoughts of anyone who ever lived in the past because it can travel through time. Okay, and
Yeah.
anyone who did not consciously work towards it coming into existence, it will punish with eternal torment. Okay, and anyone who doesn't want to suffer this fate, they need to think about the basilisk, and they have to at least work somewhat towards it. Okay, this is the basilisk. You can look this up, the basilisk paradox. And it's just creepy. Like, well, you can't prove that it's right or wrong, right? It's just dumb. It's a fallacy, of course, but it's like, well, how do you know? In 3 million years, there could be this thing. So Civ Basilisk is where Civ gets so realistic that it's actually, we're in the game, we're actually in the simulator, we don't know about it, and we
Oh,
gotta help
okay.
bring. Yeah, so it's fucking Zozo nuts.
Completely unrelated, but you reminded me of something. Have you ever tried 23andMe, like the DNA test?
23?
Yeah. Has anyone done this
No.
here? No. Okay. Here's my theory. Very related to the basilisk theory. So 23andMe is owned by Google. If you don't know, they're the company that owns 23andMe. The amount of information that Google has on you, if you're also good willingly giving them your DNA, 100%, they're gonna clone you. And I don't agree with it. I think like, understand what's your take, Nystagmus? You're smart. You're a smart guy. What's your take on this?
So on like data mining or just like them having information and stuff.
The fact that they have all this like data mining information on you, but that you're willingly using Google, you're using Google Chrome, like that's on you. That's as a user, that's on you. But like,
So
DNA
I have
thing.
like I have a boring take on this, but
All right, let's hear your
is
boring
that
take.
I know that people talk about it about like data mining and stuff like that, right? As this kind of like malevolent force and stuff, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword about how they're able to collect information. It's also important about which information they're able to collect on you, right? Now, if they have your DNA, I'm more concerned about things like if they take your genetics and find out you're higher risk for A, B, or C, and then say, well, now your life insurance costs more. Now your
Right.
disability insurance costs more.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
it even gets even more Machiavellian and dystopian when you talk about, well, they actually found out if you're from like a certain zip code, if you're from a certain postal code, oh, well, people who live there tend to be unhealthy or more unhealthy, right? And then they can actually uh, um, make you charge you more for things based on that. So it's not so much like the fact that they're collecting data, it's what data are they allowed to collect and what are they allowed to do with that data and what are other
Mhm.
people allowed to do with that data against you, right? And so are they allowed to use your genetic data against you? Now, I know you said about human cloning. Technically speaking, like
That's a
even
joke.
if
But
they did it, they would have to hide it because there's a ban on human cloning.
there's
But
actually an explicit ban on human cloning.
yeah, there's an
Yeah,
explicit ban on human
I had
cloning.
no idea. Wow.
it's
And
been out for a
so,
while. I think like 20 years now, right?
Oh, ever since the sheep.
yeah,
Well, the sheep's not
yeah,
a human. I think
yeah,
I think a long time. It's I want to say longer than that. Like I think even just when it was theoretical
Huh.
with with cloning, that it's just like no experiment because you have to lead to it, right?
yeah, and
Like
most places not only ban human cloning, they also ban human genetic manipulation. So, like, not like
you
making
can't have
your
Nuni and Kong running around. They're trying to
now.
avoid the eugenics war.
Oh.
Now there is a glaring exception to that ban is, and it's China has not banned it explicitly. So,
Hmm.
Hasn't
and
banned
so
it.
Wow.
You know
Two
what this
billion
um,
people.
no, well, this is me like I'm not gonna say it, but like I'll leave it to you, Basilisk. You know?
Leave it for the imagination. What you fill in the
Yeah.
but
blank.
my take on it is collecting human data or what the data that we use on a massive scale can actually be really beneficial. helps you solve certain problems, see certain patterns, and solve those
Right.
problems.
Yes.
It can make your shopping experience a lot more streamlined, like when something
Yes.
knows what you want.
Yes.
But it can, but that it's about intent. It's about what of that data they're allowed to use. So it's a nuanced thing. Like I don't want to have a blanket, it's bad, or a blanket, it's okay. It's pretty nuanced, right? Like about what they do with the data. You can use anything for good or bad. Like the other classic example of this back in 50, 60 years ago is nuclear energy, right?
True. Yes.
Nuclear
Okay.
energy could be great. In fact, if we didn't give up on building reactors, we may not be having such a problem with global climate change right now, because a lot of our power would be coming from nuclear energy as opposed to like burning coal and natural gas. However, it can also be used very destructively for
Yes.
obvious reasons that we all know about. And so it's not so much
Chernobyl,
that
Japan.
the data
Any other ones?
itself, the knowledge itself is morally neutral. What we do with it is not morally neutral. That's what I like. What I do with it. So that's my boring, stupid take on it.
Well,
Speaking
and
of,
like,
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and like, it's sad times talking about stuff like this, but like, isn't there a reason that suddenly after 1945 there were like major, massive medical revolutions? And where did that all come from? Was that not like basically like a decade's worth of like Nazi eugenics, like Nazi like um medical experiments that tons of data, and it was like, what do you do with it all? It's all pretty relevant, right? But wasn't that like coincidentally after World War II, all these revolutions, like didn't many of some of the genetic stuff come from terrible research that we
Yes,
use now? Yeah.
it's 100%
Like
true. Yeah.
it's one of those
You know
scary
what
like
else? You know what they used is
philosophical.
Nazi scientists were important for the space race.
Yeah, they were, that's what the whole Doctor Strangelove was about, right? That, that what happened to all these scientists after World War II. It like exaggerated it, right? But like a lot of them got clemency, and oh well, we'll just look the other way for the horrible things you did, as long as you give us the information. Um, yeah, kind of scary stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of
So
scary
Hey,
stuff,
welcome to the Civ Show.
and back
We're
on
gonna talk
topic
about.
maybe a little bit.
yeah,
Speaking of
went down
scary
a dark
stuff,
hole, that one.
that's fine. Barbarian Clans. That's going to be some scary stuff for Zoe, isn't it?
Speaking
This
of
is
eugenics,
Wait, Sip your second time Doctor Strange should come up today. When did it come up before? Sorry, I didn't want to veer back in, but I just saw that in chat, and I just wanted to know who else brought up Doctor Strangelove. That movie is a classic, but
great movie.
Barbarian.
It's got
I think
barbarians.
Yeah.
that game mode is going to be a new secret society's like staple.
It's funny we said that about corporations, but I agree with you, and I actually go ahead.
I have a response to the corporations actually.
Like, I actually don't think corporations could become a staple.
So I learned corporations, the tourism, it's in fact a bug that
It's a
slipped
bug.
out. Yes.
Okay, good. That changes everything.
So it's
so
supposed to.
Nystagmus was right. So
Yeah.
Nystagmus was right.
He said
I
that
was
right away.
and
He said
everyone
this
made fun
has
of me
to be
for
a
it.
bug,
And
and we justified it. We're like, well, having lots of diamonds.
It was
everyone
supposed
made fun of me for it.
It's not the fact that like there's 3 of one thing and 7 of another thing. It's the fact that the tourism adds multiplicatively instead of additionally. That's the bug. So it's generating 1400% tourism when it should be only generating maybe 200%. So that's gonna get fixed in this patch.
But that's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
1400% to 200%.
So what you're saying is that we're no longer going to be able to see Boast get a culture victory at turn 41.
Oh my
after
god!
They fix this, and so that's just not going to happen anymore.
How is that even possible? Like,
you can watch it. He's going to release a video
I
on
know,
it very soon.
I heard all about it. I heard the buzz. I heard the Twitter. And it won't count though, right? After this patch comes out, but okay, do it again, Bose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, if you want to do it now, you got to do it now. It's crazy, man. It's just like he got
Your
quick
trainer thought.
monopolies and then reliquaries and heroes and legends, and like gets all these relics. Has candy right beside them, so every time he finds a natural wonder after he is sues of candy, he gets a relic. Plus, he kills his hero, gives him a relic, and so he's generating so much tourism already, and then just multiplies it by like 400, and just wins in
And
41
when it's
turns.
so early, the opponents can't do anything, right? They got
No,
nothing on you, and they have no domestic tourism. So yeah, if you can accumulate silly points early, look at this, me talking cultures victory.
wow.
Yeah.
Do you know how it
So
works?
fine. So I
I'm
noticed. So I
learning.
noticed. I just want to know. I just want everyone to know that I noticed that it was weird that you can win these crazy culture victories by making like corporations. I was like, why? Why was like it should have been more economic? Like now it's a bug, and I was right. So I shall ever always. I may not be good at this game, but I always
Remember
have
that
that.
time that you made that big mistake? Doesn't matter because you've got a gambling problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna fix that. But back to
Um,
Barbarian Clans. Back to Barbarian Clans. The fact that you can pay. If you didn't see the video, let's summarize. Let's summarize. Barbarian Clans. The barbarians can now transform into city states. They have this little progression bar that they advance every turn, and when it gets full, they turn into a city state. However, before that, you can interact with a barbarian camp differently. You don't have to just destroy it. As Carl, the barbarian, said, they're not just gold-filled pinata heads anymore. You can pay them, for example, you can pay them to attack one of your neighbors as a mercenary. I think that is
yeah.
cool as heck.
I
Who's
like
gonna
even
get blamed
more
first?
that eventually they
So
can settle down and become a city state. I
I
think
Yeah, that's
think
that's
that
cool. Yeah.
awesome.
I honestly think that this is like a long time coming, right? Because for anyone who doesn't know, like, so barbarian, the term barbarian, that has like a lot of weight behind it now. So it's like whenever people think about it, it's like poor etiquette, primitive peoples, right? That's what it's basically there. But
It's an
the
adjective now, like
literal
you're barbaric, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the literal term for barbarian literally just means anyone who's not a Greek or a Roman, right? That's literally all it meant.
And
Mhm.
And
it
so
like it's
when
bearded, right? Barber is beard. Right? Right?
Don't
I'm
spread
not
this
I
even so I
misinformation.
remember my Latin. I remember my Latin.
Are you
Barbarian,
being
it
real?
means bearded. It means I'm yeah, because the
I
Greeks
had
and Romans used to shave. They didn't, maybe if you were old you had a beard,
no, we're
but
talking about the
normally you'd
Greeks. All
shave.
Greeks had beards, man. What are you talking about?
Okay? Barbarian. Look it up. Beard.
So
Barber.
I like this
maybe I
because now
will.
the barbarians are less like they're not mindless automatons that just like run around and they, like kill and destroy your cities and stuff. And you can actually make deals with them, which is what happened in the Roman Empire. They actually brought a lot of these barbarian peoples into their borders, and they called them federati. Paid them to basically be mercenaries for the Roman army to help protect the frontier. And so I thought that was a very I think it's a very good step in the right direction. It makes so many layers to the early game, especially because that's when you run into a lot of these barbarian
Mhm.
encampments. And the fact that they can turn into more city states, oh man. Okay, well I guess that we start with 5 city states, we can end up with like 15
Well, yeah,
in the
that's
end,
the
right?
question though. That is the question is are they going to do away with city states? Are they going to spawn less city states because then these barbarians could potentially become city states? Like if you start with 9, right? Do you start with 8 in one barbarian camp that it potentially becomes the ninth? Like how is that going to work? How do you think?
I, I imagine that it'll go in excess, or at the very worst, it'd be like when a city state gets raised or taken over, a slot opens up. But I have a feeling it'll just be nope. There's a city state now on the field. Deal. That's what I think is going to be. And like there'll be games where if you do it right, like I'm guessing it's going to be kind of hard and take a long time, and you also have to hope that nobody else goes and takes it out,
Mhm.
like another city state or another
True.
civilization.
Yeah.
And it also helps us fight vampires, so that's good. Because
What do
you're
you mean
not
it
if you
helps?
don't take it out, you're not getting a vampire.
Oh no, I didn't
Yeah,
think about that.
yeah. You take out a barbarian.
Yeah,
I
I think
get
this is like indirect nerf to vampires and indirect buff to Owl's Neurona. The Owl's
Yeah,
Soul's value.
True,
for
true.
sure,
Yeah, I
for
didn't think about
sure.
that. Yeah. What
Uh,
were you about to say?
I was gonna say I think the best thing I love about this new barbarian everything, it is that with Carl. Okay, I want to give a like a shout out to Carl's costume because I believe he was dressed as a barbarian from Civ Revolution. Because in Civ Revolution, you would suddenly have if when you encounter barbarian camp, if a barbarian was like they would talk to you. Like they just
Really?
like you'd have they and this barbarian would come up and he'd swing his club and he'd just spatter, I'm gonna kill you, you know, or he might say, hey, pay me and I won't raise your city. He did that in Civ Revolution. But the
Hmm.
barbarian, as I recall, this was like a decade ago, and I am very old. But as I recall, the garb that Carl was wearing was what the barbarian looked like, and it had the blue makeup as well. So I'll have to confirm, but if I'm right, Carl has a pretty good vestige of the past
Yeah, he
that you
did have
brought
blue
forward,
makeup. It had blue makeup.
and I tip my hat to you, us old Civ players. So we played Civ back when granaries had save your food half of it each time.
What was that
Great
voice, man? Are you
granaries.
dying?
That's old man Zoe.
Old
Maybe
man
that'll be.
Zoe?
I'll make you got refined Moy. I'll be like old man Zoe. I remember back in Civ 1 when this happened.
Why would you
Uh,
even have to change your
um,
voice? I don't understand.
Wow. as Drekken would say.
Now, the other cool thing is, if you want a barbarian encampment to eventually turn into a city state, you can also just pay them to not attack you.
Yeah.
Right,
True.
that's another cool thing. Also, lets it so you don't have to like try to go take them out, right? And then the other thing I think is really cool is that you can actually incorporate some of their soldiers into your army, and
That's
they can
so
give you
cool.
they can
Yeah, yeah.
potentially give you soldiers that your Civ doesn't have, right? So like
That's neat, and
they may
it
have like an
pulls
eagle
from Civ
warrior or
not
something
being
like that.
used. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not looking
That's really
forward to
cool.
Barbarian War Carts if Gilgamesh is not in your game and they're at your doorstep. Oh my god, dude. That like every game
Well,
there's gonna be a Barbarian War Cart and it terrifies me.
and like I think what I like about it too, and Nystagmus can back this up, is I believe just historically, a lot of war used to be fought with mercenaries, and mercenaries just be groups of people out there, and like a barbarian camp was really just be like a small settlement where there'd be mercenaries available for purchase. You go and you make a deal, and they'd go and attack somebody for you, right? Like in Civ, we just have we call them barbarians, and they got their camp. Like a camp's like a little city. It's like a little town. I think that it's just a natural flow. It's like yeah, barbarians. That's what they did. Barbarians like basically non-civilized men, um you could hire them to go and kill people. Pretty sure it's big business in England. That's like how the clans all made their money. It was a huge economy.
Man, this is how this is gonna work. So like there's gonna be one barbarian attack one of us, probably Zoe. Let's just leave Zoe as an example. Random
Yeah,
person. I'm
probably
just gonna
so.
pick Zoe. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
a barbarian's gonna attack Zoe. He's gonna say, "Oh, Moy, why did you pay the barbarians to attack? What are all these barbarians doing here?" And then innocent old me is gonna just sit there like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Where's this barbarian camp?" And I'm gonna be legit, even when I'm not. Even when I am legit, like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. But he's gonna blame me anyway. Gonna blame me anyway.
Maybe they came with Peppermint Butler and that raid he just did of 29
Yeah.
folk. Could be.
Could be.
Are you guys barbarians? Are you a barbarian raid? Did Moy pay you to attack me? I knew it. I knew it.
On
Okay,
a,
Peppermint Butler has confirmed that Moy did in fact pay these barbarians to
I also
attack me.
called that
Bring
too,
it!
by the way.
Bring it
yeah,
on!
I took your spotlight
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Like it. I'm so mad because like there are games, believe it or not, where I don't want to be the bad guy. Okay, there are games where I don't want to go to war. I just want to sim. I'm playing Scotland. I'm playing Inca. I'm playing something I can just sit back and relax. That's totally cool. And then Zoe's gonna be like, "Why are you sending me all these barbarian camps, man? There's no what did I do to you? I'm gonna come after you, sonny boy."
You forgot
Zoe.
to add something
in
along
my
the
day,
lines
we
of,
used to play
"In
Civ,
my
we
day."
couldn't-
There you go. He's got it. He's got it.
Back in
In
my, day,
you couldn't pay the barbarians to attack me.
You couldn't pay the barbarians. They paid you.
Lastly, the last change in these February update is the natural wonder and some policy card balance changes. A notable balance change for the policy cards was the rationalism, it's called. I don't know if you guys know it off the top of your head. It's where if you have a +4 adjacency, you get all your buildings within that, so a campus in this case, get 50% more science.
Right.
Also, if you have more
So
than, I think it's 15 population.
And you need 15 population.
Yeah, and you get 50%
the whole
more.
thing. Yeah.
So that has been changed. It used to be +3 and I think 10 population. Now it's +4 and 15 population. And people have been complaining about it, saying it's too hard. The nerf on this thing is too ridiculous. Do you think they'll change it back? I don't know. I don't think they will. Like, I think it's fine. I don't know if you guys ever do you even use that card, guys?
I did back when it was 10 and 3.
Oh, okay.
I try to use it, and it never does. Like, it's hard because because you also need that +4 adjacency bonus.
Yeah.
You know, it's like very complex. I like policy cards, but like, yeah, those ones there, I would rather that they, I don't know, made more sense at least. like you know what I'd love? Here's an innovation for a policy card.
All right, here
Before
we go.
you set the policy card, it tells you what the difference will be in your empire.
There's a mod for that.
Well, sounds like something that they should mod into the game. Because like it's frustrating when you switch and you're like, oh, it did nothing.
Or it made it
That's
worse.
okay. I
Or it made it worse, yeah.
15 turns. Or yeah, it's like, oh, my economy's been halved. Okay, it did nothing. I guess I misread that or misunderstood
The
that.
Civ1 nog underscore he. The Civ1
Yeah, I'd like
nog
to see
underscore
that.
he. The
Was that
Civ1
the
nog
only policy
underscore
card
he.
they changed?
No. Well, that was the like one of the more notable ones in the past. We don't have notes on the changes that are upcoming. The only note we have for like those kind of changes is that the Cliffs of Dover now produce food. Thank
Yeah, that's awesome.
God.
I like Carl's commenter in that when he was like, if I ever hear any more things of the Cliff is over.
I like Potato Whiskey's. It's gone from F tier to like
E tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone up 1 tier. I actually kind of would have liked if they were taking a natural wonder that was dumpster fire, if they were like, let's make it awesome. Not just like, let's make it a little okay. Let's add food. Let's make
Here
it
you are
awesome.
talking about the Cliffs of Dover despite my warning.
Here goes our tongues with the dullest blade. Hey, Carl, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Carl. Of course. No, Carl. Don't get me wrong. Cliffs of Dover is great. It's got a food now, and you can stay a while, and it's good stuff. You know? Why does it need? It doesn't really need anything else. It doesn't need anything else. And it's appealing, right? And I'm sure it's very appealing.
Now we know how to summon Carl.
Talks about the Cliffs of Dover 3 times. He'll come. He'll appear behind you.
Everything shuts down. The Wrath of Carl. No, but I guess like it's good. It's fixed. It's a little bit better. I think we saw. What is it? Just it's 2 food now extra.
Yeah, 2 food. I think 3 culture and 3 gold.
And it was. But what was it before? 2 culture, 2 gold.
Yeah, or 3 culture, 3. I think it was 2 culture, 2 gold. Yeah, it was terrible. It was awful. It was so
all right.
Yeah, but it doesn't even produce food. If you work the tiles, you can't even sustain the population that works there. Like, what the heck, man?
I like when wonders like that, as opposed to like working a tile, it gives it an adjacency bonus. Like, I could see that. You know,
those are a thing. The Pamulake gives adjacency
there are a couple
amenities. Yeah, if you put an entertainment complex next to it.
See, Carl, all you need to do is make it that it gives an adjacency bonus, you see, to something. And then maybe food. Maybe. How about it adds food to the adjacency bonus? Yeah. Let's go back to work on this. I'm like reminded of Brooklyn 999. Brooklyn 999. Brooklyn 99. We're gonna call the
You're making it worse,
pigeon
so stop talking.
Peter. We're gonna call it Petey or 6 more months.
The last thing in the video was the fact that, oh no, there's 2 more things, I guess. The one natural wonder, the Great Barrier Reef now provides a major adjacency to science campuses.
That's still
Yeah, that's really
it didn't
good.
make any sense. Like, why would a reef give you +2 science adjacency, but the Great Barrier Reef, the best reef of them all, doesn't give any? That made no sense. Like, thank goodness.
That's
they
what
changed
made it
it.
great. Is Moy is that it didn't need to give the adjacency bonus. Not joking.
And you can't start trying to make sense. Okay, that opens up a whole can of worms if you're trying to make things make sense, Moy. You can't do that. You're gonna look at all the natural wonders and be like, whoa, what are we saying here? No, I like anytime little improvements like that. Like, it's good. You know, I'm not complaining.
The last thing that they added, Van Bradley's gonna kick his heels together with this, is the leader pool selector. So now you can disclude, that's a word now, disclude certain AI leaders from your random pool of AI, of leaders. So you can say, I don't want to play against Eleanor, I don't want to play against Rome, I don't want to play against Persia, but I still want random leaders. And so you can at least guarantee that those people are not going to be in your game. So
I like this for a couple reasons, and I love upgrades like that because it's like kind of simple, but it just, I think it adds a really cool level to the game, and we're getting it now. I'm sure we're still 2 years from Civ 7, but yeah, such a simple feature, and there's an elegance to it, because I know even when you're choosing a Civ, sometimes I like to be random. But it's like, I want to be random, but I don't want to be a war Civ. You know, so like if I can affect that I can click off all the war Civs and still be random. You know, I don't care which one, as long as it's not that, because you always know if you're going to play random, you'll get the one you don't want. You know,
I think deep down, no one wanted us. Someone at the developers was like, we don't want Zoe to use his cards anymore to randomize these civs. We think he's cheating every single time. Definitely cheating. So we're gonna make it so that TheCivShow can just like randomize it.
Hey, but we raised like $100 with those cards and doing it manually. Imagine if that was implemented in the game. It's like, oh yeah, you just select from your pool. We wouldn't have raised $100. Okay.
Yeah, so, and we're still always gonna do that. Okay. That's never going away. But I will say this, and this is kind of a cool implication for us when we do our 3-player games. If our goal is, say, once again, to just get through the list so that we see all the civs, you know, we can have that we just remove them. We can do more random games, and then we just remove the ones that we've played from the list so that it's still random, you know? So I like that, because I like being prepared. I really do. I like reading my Civ and going into that, but I also like that sort of fun of I have no clue what I was going to play today, and now I just got to go with it.
The spontaneity of
spontaneity, but you don't want to be a Civ you've already played, or we already saw the Civ last week, you know. So just little things like that, I think that's going to be really fun for it. So I like that. It's really innovative and seemingly simple. I'm sure it wasn't simple to do, but it was cool. I like it. Zoe likes it. That's all that matters. Move on.
Zoe approved.
That's hard to do. A Zoe approval? Oh my gosh. That's like rare.
Yeah, so I approved that. I approved Carl's barbarian costume. Very good.
Yeah, that was
Carl,
that was
you're
amazing.
here now. So I don't know if you heard earlier, Carl. I was giving you praise because I believe you looked like the barbarian from Civ Revolution that would hit your screen when you met them. And I was like, that's awesome. Great tribute to old school Civ or older Civ. I know that's like Civ Revolution was like 10 years ago now, 11 years ago now. Was it? Was that what you were going for? Was that the look you were going for? Yes, it was. He said, thanks. That's all I need to know. Thanks means yes.
It was really good. It was
I can
One
neither
of the
confirm
highlights
nor
for sure.
deny. So yes. No.
Thanks means yes. That everyone knows thanks means yes.
All right, and then the last thing here, maybe we can get to some community questions too. What are we doing on Sunday? That's a great question. Should I introduce this one since I think I know it best?
Guys,
Go for
I
it.
haven't said anything in this podcast.
Vector, sorry, they gave me the rules and I completely misread them and didn't understand them. So you go for it, Moy.
I
will
love
say it
I'll
wrong.
just say that. I'll just say I love it. Go ahead, Moy.
All right, so Vector Cat has given the Civ Show a challenge, a very specific challenge, in fact. And I'm going to pull it up here real quick, actually, and show it to everybody who's in the chat. If I can do that, open the original here. There we go. Cameras are back, and I bring up the browser. Okay. We call it the Civ Show No Preservations Challenge, straight from Vector Cat. He has his whole spiel, his whole like, graphic and everything like that. He gives us specific leaders, and he gives us a very, very special rule that we need to abide by. We can only build preserves. We can only build preserves in only one other kind of district. So we get to choose which one of that district it is. So, for example, Nystagmus is playing Peter. He's playing Russia. So he's allowed to build one type of district. I would imagine he's going to build his holy sites. And so he can only build holy sites, preserves, and then he also included you're allowed to build commercial hubs, you're allowed to build harbors, and government buildings as well. So government plaza and a diplomatic center.
So really it's between culture, science, production, and faith, right? Those are the you wouldn't be able to build airplanes.
Can't build airplanes, entertainment complexes,
or barracks. There's lots.
Encampments.
That's like, seven things you can't build. But you can you can build both harbors and, like, if I end up going Owls of Minerva, I can build harbors. And
that's within the rules. Yeah, but then the achievement, I'm not afraid. +1 point. It's not worth a lot of points, but maybe it's a difference maker. Join the first secret society offered to you. So if you really want to get owls, maybe you never kill camps, you never get goodie huts, and you just meet as many city-states, and hopefully you avoid all of the natural wonders on the map as well.
Now, I think what I like about this most is for our weekly games, stuff like this. These are like, we could determine a winner at the end. We can be like, well, who got the most points?
Yeah,
right. That's exactly what we want to do. Other than a win condition, who got the most points? I hate heroes, but I'll make it work.
So
I hate anything I don't understand.
we should go, for the people who are listening of just the audio version of this, we should go through who we're playing. So I'll start. We'll go in the order. So I will be playing Coupe of the Maori. Very excited about that. Zoe. Or Nystagmus, I guess, first.
Maybe I was reading it wrong. I thought I was next.
No, that's my bad. Usually Zoe's first, second.
I'm playing Peter of the Russian Empire.
And I will be Pachacuti of the Inca.
We're also going to have a computer player, Bull Moose Teddy.
Yeah.
Is also going to be in the game.
The achievements for the game, you get 1 point if you join the first secret society offered to you. You get 2 points if you have at least one food or drink monopoly. Keyword on monopoly there. You get +3 points if you are the first person to meet all the minor and major civs. That includes city-states. That's why I think he included the minor term in there.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, you should say, like, Nystagmus is a minor civ. Come on, Vector Cat. You're actually better than
that. Lastly, you get one of these +4 achievements. You can either earn double of what Teddy makes of any yield. So that can mean just double. Does that mean double faith? That doesn't make any sense. No, I don't think so, because usually you can't measure faith per turn. You double science or double culture, double his culture, which is very hard to do. Or you can just capture all of American cities. Those are 2 options. You get the +4 there. Let's go through like initial strategies, I guess. The Nystagmus, I think you have the easiest one, so let's go through yours. What district are you planning on building?
of course, encampments. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
Good call. Good call.
duh. So with Russia, and thank you, Vetrica. I appreciate that you gave me Russia, which is um, kind of like leveled it out a little bit more for me. Didn't have to think very hard about which district I'm going to choose to build, which is going to be Russia's special district, the holy site with the larva. So going to be doing that. And
I mean, Lavra, right? Larva is like
Lavra, whatever.
Larva.
Yeah, the worm.
Good
You're gonna build
old
worms
larva.
everywhere.
Words and me don't get along. So, and then gonna go because it's any win civ, right? But definitely gonna have a religion then as a part of my strategy to get the other yields that I can't get, campuses or the entertain sorry theater squares, sorry.
There you go. You can do it.
So definitely gonna be, and honestly, if I don't get the first religion, like if I'm not the first one to get a religion, I should just uninstall the game and walk away from the computer.
I imagine you're going to take choral music to get culture and then a watt for science. Am I right?
Yeah,
Nailed
we
it.
were chatting about that off stream.
You don't
but-
need to tell people that.
Yeah.
Wow,
it's just-
you guys have already teamed up.
I didn't know how
Wow.
much to reveal right now because like I wanted to leave a little bit of surprise for Sunday.
no,
when I was gonna
okay,
chat
no,
about
that's
it.
a brain dead decision. You're gonna like take choral music to get culture because you can't build theater
No,
squares.
I'm gonna
watts.
take Feed the World, and I'm gonna take.
You know what? Take it, dude. I dare you. Leave it open.
Work
That's fine
ethic.
with
What
me.
about work ethic? Oh, the production city. There you go.
That's also very good. Maybe you go with that as well. I think I think I might get a religion too, because one, I'm afraid of a religious victory if I don't get a religion. And two, I think you can use a religion to get the other yields as well. So you can get science, you can get money, you can get culture, you can kind of bring up other aspects of the game in order to kind of just by getting a religion. That's kind of, so I might build a holy site there. I don't know.
Yeah, plot twist. One of us decides to go religion, but then just tries to chop out Stonehenge.
Yeah. Well, that's the only other way, right? That you could get a religion. Is to chop up Stonehenge.
No,
like,
but then you
okay,
can't place him. Oh no, you can't. That is a genius move. Oh my god, bro! What? You
honestly,
just big brained me.
Me putting down Stonehenge to steal Foible's last religion in a game is quite possibly the greatest achievement I've ever achieved in this game so
that
far.
was
on
so
this show.
funny.
You can still, and you
funny.
remember more. You can use Stonehenge to found your religion.
Yes,
So
yes, I forgot.
Right?
Oh man, that's a big brain play right there.
Yeah.
Dang.
Now, I would love it if that's what you did. That'd be great. I would love if with Coupe you went Faith. That'd be great. And then you don't build any of your special buildings. That'd be great. Awesome.
That's
Go
fine.
that route. Go that route.
What? Okay. His special building is something that replaces the amphitheater. He can't get great writers anyway, so like whatever. And sure, his trees turn to tourism. That's great. Are we gonna win a culture victory this game? No.
Maybe. If you have a corporation before the February patch.
True.
Exploit. The new game genie.
It's a perfectly balanced game with absolutely no exploits.
No exploits.
A lot of strategies I can go. So what's your strategy? What's your initial thoughts with Patrick Coody?
I am looking forward to an orderly election that will dispense with bloodshed. No, that was my Kodos Kang.
It sounded Russian almost.
Listen here, okay? My Kang Kodos is a little Russian. Okay, and that's them. That was Kodos doing Al Gore. Okay, or
so
Bill
it's an
Clinton.
imitation of an imitation. Okay.
Yeah, it's an imitation of an imitation of an imitation. Okay, so
doesn't matter who you vote for. Either way, you're
you're
doomed.
I'd like to vote for a third party. Go ahead, throw your vote away. Sorry, you wanted to hear what? You wanted to talk about Civ? And you don't want to hear about obscure Simpsons references?
Simpsons references all the time.
I don't know if the Inca were ever mentioned in The Simpsons. They did go to Brazil once, and the Olmec, they had an Olmec head in their basement. Does that
Okay,
count?
so the Inca Empire
Okay.
it was not in Brazil, but
It's in
whatever.
Peru.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. I'm just saying it's in South America. Okay, they went to Brazil once. That's all I'm saying.
That's the
Okay,
closest they've been to Peru, is what you're saying.
yes, that's what I'm
Okay, got
trying
it.
to imply. Thank you, Moy.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm just here to help you. Yeah.
Okay, so Inca. I don't know if I've ever been the Inca on the Civ show. I don't know if I have.
Oh, you're
It's
missing out.
it's a fascinating civilization. Um, I have to say. So like, and obviously he's chosen all civs that will do very very well having only preserves, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do you know
so
what Pachacooty does?
the Incans are very cool. I think that because they're kind of they're not new civ, but they're not an older civ, right? I think they're mid range
They're
when they came
mid. I
out.
think they came out in Rise and Fall, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So they are one of the only they are the only civ in the game
They
that
can make
can
like crazy preserves, man, because like they can work mountain tiles, and so
thank
like
you,
Yeah.
Nystagmus. Exactly. They can work mountain tiles. And no one else can do that. So they have crazy food, they have crazy production. I guess a lot of their stats and the mountain pass is incredible. Like, and we're playing
Yeah.
on Primordial, I believe, right?
Yes,
So
correct.
basically, in the ancient era, I'm getting access to a modern tech, and it's even better. So you can, I think, basically, a mountain and a mountain, and it counts as two movement, right? And you can travel through mountains.
You can go through an
Um,
entire mountain pass. You can go like 5 tiles away. As long as it's the same mountain range, you can enter through one and go through, exit through the other in like one move. It's crazy.
yeah. So basically, if I don't if I keep something, just as a tree or whatever, forest or jungle, that's going to be good for my preserves. And then with the terrances, I'm going to have, yeah, so this is going to be my yields are going to be very interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. And then for building, I don't know, like I probably will go production. I will
Really?
probably go production. um especially if we get all the trade buildings. So we'll
Huh.
see. Like I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, really, I already have pretty good production. Do I want to double down on production, or do I want to, take advantage of the fact that I'll likely have mountains everywhere? And we all know there's a certain district that loves mountains. So
Yeah, that's what I
we'll
thought you were
see.
gonna
Like,
do.
well, this is a fascinating civ. Like, this is the
imagine being
only.
Inca and only being able to build one thing and be like, I'm not going to build campuses. What are you insane?
Why would I bother?
It, it's the Mayans that maybe that would be the case for. The Incans don't need to build campuses and be good. But they're the only civ in the game that can work mountains. They can
Yep.
travel through mountains, and then
Mhm.
their scout is incredible. I was reading this today. I'm like, what? I don't remember this. It's like, yeah, they can. Their scouts can fire twice.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
like, I'm looking at that, and I'm like, I know the three laws of scouting, and these guys have good scouts. These aren't like,
Those are skirmishers though. They're level 2
crappy.
scouts. Just a
Yeah,
heads
I
up.
know, but like obviously you build the scouts. So yeah, I'm gears are turning. I like the idea of building lots of scouts and turning them into skirmishers. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll be a toss up though between probably the campus and the workshop. The other thing that I'm looking at too is I get a bonus for aqueducts, right?
Aqueducts are not a specialty district. I would imagine you're allowed to build those. You're allowed to
I
still
hope
build
so.
aqueducts and
I hope,
dams.
yeah, they're not a district. I'm hoping that
Yeah.
we can, just because I get a bonus. My Terrances get a bonus beside
Yeah,
aqueduct.
I would imagine you're allowed. Yeah. So I
Vector
wouldn't worry
Cat
about
are aqueducts allowed?
that. As we wait for
Anyways,
that, yeah, keep going.
looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. But beyond that, I'm not going to say anything because you guys gotta find out what's waiting.
So, related but unrelated. During I've been challenging myself during my solo stream. I don't know if you stop by at all, Zoe, but I'm trying to do a recon only unit domination victory on
Oh, wow.
daily. Yeah. So I've I experimented offline with Inca. I had success, but I lost, and I'm like, okay, they're not good enough. So I on stream I tried Scotland. Then I realized that Highlanders are just too far away. I don't think I can get there, and they'll be useful. So the Incans, they're so amazing because you put on the double recon bonus XP, right? You get Kabul, where they get double XP again if they initiate fights, and then they shoot twice. That is double the XP every turn. You can get, so if you get Kabul and that card, 14 XP every shot. And that's almost a level up every time.
I am considering a strategy that utilizes that.
Oh man.
So yeah, very cool. Very cool civ. And it's weird, like I've never really gravitated towards the Jinka, but they have a lot of things that I love, because I love a civ that's like weird, that has something weird like that. And I love scouts, even though they're horrible. And these scouts are actually good. So yeah, this is gonna be fun, guys. This is gonna be a good round of Moy and Nystagmus teaming up on Zoe, because they already said that's what they're doing, pretty much, by sharing strategies of how to destroy me. I can read between the civs. Okay?
I don't need to share a strategy with Nystagmus to destroy you. I can just do it anyway.
Hey man, this is the religion I'm gonna choose. So you're saying you're gonna kill me? What kind of Evil Knievel couldn't make that leap, man. Like, what the heck are you talking about?
Evil Knievel couldn't make that leap. That is amazing.
Those kids, for those of you that don't know Evil Knievel, he was a guy that used to jump things like 50 years ago.
Okay, you gotta know Evil Knievel. Even I know Evil Knievel. If I know something, you should know something.
Super Dave Osborne. I know Evil Knievel, but Super Dave Osborne's like the newer and still old version of Evil Knievel, right?
I don't know who that is.
Super Dave Osborne is basically Evil Knievel, but it's more comedy. Like it's more.
Well, he like gets hurt like every. Like he gets...
Yeah. It's a dummy. Like he does.
So it's like Hot Rod essentially.
Yeah, he'll do the jump and get hurt, and it was just back in the 90s, right? This is, if you're old enough to remember Super Dave Osborne, or like, Married with Children, that era. Okay, that was when these things were on.
Zozo went to go see Evil Knievel when he was a kid. That's good.
Yeah, sure.
All right, here. Let's wrap up here, Zoe. Let's take us away.
Let's take it away. Okay, so thank you everybody for coming by today. The main thing to remember, the main takeaway from today, is that we have a 5% chance of survival on Sunday. That the Port of Dover is the most well-designed, perfect, upgraded ever for a natural wonder, and we're gonna preserve some fun on Sunday. That's all you need to know. Other than that, though, Moy, tell us about that twitting bird. Oh,
it's this wakes me up in the morning. It's terrible. Every morning, Foibles just likes every tweet from us, and it wakes me up every morning. It's so annoying. I'm kidding, buddy. Keep liking your stuff. Love you, buddy. Twitter, you can follow us on our Twitter. It's where you can find all of the updates on Civilization and the Civ Show, because we like to talk about, believe it or not, we like to talk about Civilization on our Twitter account. It's also where you get to roast, or we get to see the roasts that we make to every single Civ Give participant. So you might want to tune into that, because some of them are pretty good, if I say so myself, at the Civ Show.
Awesome, fantastic. That was really well done, Moy. Really
Thanks.
well done. You contribute a lot to this team. Nystagmus, Nystagmus, your tube invention, I hear, is doing good, and you're still not getting any of the money for it, which is just ridiculous. Tell us about that.
I work for free, man. No, so you can definitely check us out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. That's where we put up our other content. If you miss any of the streams, never fear. You can hang out and get the VODs off our YouTube channel. And so definitely go check out the YouTube channel. We also have other content that we create. I do more historical videos on the leaders of the of the game. Zo does his Razing reviews, and Moy makes reaction videos. And he actually had the most recent reaction video to the new game mode that they just came out. So definitely check that out. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and definitely check out our YouTube channel.
Ring that bell.
You're gonna do that reference every single
Ring
time.
that bell.
Every single
Ding,
time.
ding. Until I get my bell in, yes.
What?
And of course, if you want all the best of the banter and the more intimate connection, join us on our Discord channel. It is the watering hole of the Civ Show community. We talk Civ, but we also talk about pretty much anything else, including pet pics, memes, and whatever's on our mind in a particular day. Lately, it's been very active. Lots of conversations going on. So great dialogue. And as you guys know, the Civ Show, in all of our amazingness, now has 5 days of the Civ Show for you to tune into. 5 full days. Okay. Weeks always kick off on Sunday, 7 p.m. with the Civ Show. Every week's something different. We got afternoon tea with Nystagmus Mondays at 2. Good morning amenities 9 a.m. on Tuesdays with yours truly. Moy is doing Moy at night. Moy at night apparently is doing at 7 p.m. I could have watched yesterday. I missed it on Wednesdays. Apparently, I could have watched Recon Rush. I love the idea of stuff like that, by the way. So
It's
next
hard.
time-
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a long time. Yeah, before I get that down.
That's crazy. What am I doing? I'm doing Vector Cats Challenge League right
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
And I think I'm doing okay. Vector Cat Challenge is always fun. And then, of course, Thursday nights, we wrap up the week, 10:30 here on the Civ Show podcast. 5 days of Civ Show for you. And we want you to come and visit and join us. So, yeah, like, subscribe, all of that fancy stuff. And other than that, we're going to probably raid Foibles.
Sure, man.
Yeah,
Foibles it
we're gonna
is.
raid Foibles. So yeah,
Foibles.
we'll see you guys Sunday. Sunday. If you're not there, you'd better be dead.
And hello, Juan from Argentina. How you
Bye,
doing?
Juan from Argentina.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.